When you think of yourself as the type of person, like right now, just imagine yourself as the type of person, like how people say, you're the type of person who doesn't give a fuck about what anyone thinks, right? That type of person who doesn't care about what anyone says or what anyone thinks. Just imagine that. Not in like the more degenerate sort of fashion, not in the more sort of like breaking the rules sort of fashion. Just a guy who lives true to himself, or a girl, if you're watching my video, who lives true to herself. Imagine that person, or imagine that version of you. What shape is he or she in? What shape are you in? Normally when people think of themselves as someone who's lived true to their purpose and true to their true aim in the depths of their soul and never cared about what anyone thought or what anyone said, they're in good shape. Even when you see like in video games or movies where people make up fiction or use real actors or real characters, and it's like a adventure or action or thriller or whatever. What shape is that person in? Think about it. When you play a video game and you want to use a character, what shape are they in? Are they fat? Are they very skinny? Normally they're in shape. And the truth is that if you actually lived true to the aim that you actually wanted and really did not care about what other people thought your whole life, you would actually be in better shape than you thought. And if you can grasp the concept of what I'm trying to relay in this video, because this video is more so on like kind of like the spiritual sort of psychological side. So if that's really not what you're into right now, you can go ahead and click off. But when you grasp what it is that I'm trying to relay to you, this fact that I'm about to tell you right now, your fitness life and your fitness career and everything will just be so much smoother. Your entire life will be so much smoother when you get this concept. This is kind of even deviating from my niche a bit, because this is even more than just fitness. People will always subconsciously try to manipulate you into being weak, just like they are. Hands down. It will always happen. Average people, losers, people that we're not trying to be like, will always try and manipulate you into being weak, just like they are. I remember it was roughly 4 years ago, and I was in church. I was hanging out with like my church friends or whatever. And of course, I was in great shape at the time. You know, I've been in shape pretty much my whole life, 10 years of gym rat. And we were just joking and stuff like that. And, you know, really, it wasn't even that bad of a joke. It was just kind of like, oh, whatever, haha. You know, when you're in shape, you get used to this sort of treatment. But they were just joking about how jacked I am, joking about how much I work out. They'll say things like, okay, don't break the law. Don't break the laws and the commands. Now, you know, you holding that Bible too tight, you might rip it in half. You know, just stuff like that. Or, you know, the old Chike, man, he be swimming through dirt because he's so strong. He doesn't even have to get in the pool. It was something like that. You know, they were just making jokes, and I was laughing. Like I was like dying laughing. I thought it was hilarious. It was funny. It was great and everything. But at that moment, something weird happened. Like my I just kind of had like a click. I just kind of clicked, and I thought, man, like, is that all I am? And am I just like this weightlifter guy? Like, am I just this guy, this gym rat sort of dude? Like, that's kind of lame. Like, it's, even though it's really not. That's kind of lame, man. That's like all I am, you know. And I thought to myself, since I'm in this setting, I'm like, I just kind of thought to myself, I don't know why, but I should try and be like like a more deep sort of intellectual type of guy. You know, the type of guy who's like the intellectual sort of like Sigma male type, who they're just kind of like the skinny neck with the wavy hair looking guy who's just really smart and intellectual, but you know he doesn't really do anything physically active. But don't worry, even though he's not physically active, he's got the power of the mind. He can outsmart you or some stupid shit like that, right? I want to be like the type of guy who's more like a deep, warm, family oriented. I don't have a family, but just like family or like community oriented guy who it's just like kind of like the father archetype, the guy who, you know, he was hot shit when he's young, but then now that he's got a family, he's just like this warm, bumbling father who's just like prioritizes nothing but his kids and his family. That sort of archetype of just kind of cutting down on fitness. And I'm like, yeah, I should do less lifting and focus more on just being more deep and just getting in touch with my philosopher side. So fast forward, that was a waste of time. That was a complete waste of time. I thought it was completely stupid and retarded. It was the most retarded arc of my life. That entire arc was a complete fucking waste of time. It was dumb. I realized it was stupid. I didn't feel good about myself. The thing is, I didn't get the validation I was expecting, and they didn't respect me any more, any less than they did before. That's what happened. And then I like in that moment once, and then of course after that, I just got back to training 6 days a week, 5 days a week, like I always have been, and just loving my life and just training and really not giving a fuck what people thought. This is a lesson that I learned, and this is something that I just recently reflected on now, because I know that you're probably working on your fitness journey, and you probably have friends that are being losers and being dorks and aren't really taking you seriously. And when you try and go to the gym, they try and pull you into their gravitational pull, into their frequency, into their vibe. And that's not what you want. And I do believe that this video is for you if you're in that situation, because when you realize this, you will look at them for what they are and you will not go back. So I'm warning you before you continue this video. Think about saying goodbye to them if this is the type of people that you have in your life, because you will probably not go back after this. The lesson I learned is that within your social group, people within your social sort of your peer group, your hierarchy, or whatever you want to call it, they will rip on you and tear you down and pull you down when you deviate from their own expectations of you, of their perceived value. Meaning that if they feel like they're within a certain sort of range or caliber of human, if you go above that, they're going to rip on you. If you go below that, they're going to shit on you. People tend to think that human sociology or psychology, whatever the hell you want to call it, is like, like you're on a certain level, and then people within this level range, like people who are just like below your level, you're the people like that, they get kind of like shitted on. And that's not the case. Everyone's actually like in a slight, like in a range. People have a minimum and a maximum. And you get shitted on regardless whether you're above or below it, if you're in that range and you're trying to deviate. So if they come to you, and I know this, just bear with me so you understand this. If you're in the social group, right, and they see you trying to go up, the fact that you moved, they're gonna shit on you. The fact that you got lower, they'll either shit on you or probably have pity on you. But if you're already above them when you appear to that social group, they'll suck you up, bro. They're gonna suck you up. That's what's gonna happen. All right. They're gonna brown nose you a little bit. That's what happens. And so a key point that I want you to understand is this. Because the thing is, when I improved my fitness, when I got back to being fit and doing everything that I was doing, I was still the intellectual, deep psychological guy that I've always been anyway. I became more deep and intellectual anyway. It's not like like because I lifted, it just went away. It didn't just go away. I was that guy anyway. So that whole thing, that whole arc was just a complete waste of time. But I need you to understand this. People love pets and they love dogs, okay? People love babies and they love pets, but they respect kings. They respect leaders. They respect their boss. That's the truth of the world. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for acceptance, and if you're looking for like a warm social environment and all these different things, just understand people love pets, but they respect their boss. Because think about it. People get these pets all the time. People get dogs all the time. All right. They get these small, useless dogs that if a robber were to attack them, they couldn't do anything but be a punching bag. They couldn't do anything but just get curled up into a ball and just get thrown to the wayside, right? You probably have a small dog. People, you may not understand this, but the reason why a lot of people have small dogs and have all these pets is because people like to feel needed. They have this need to feel needed and feel like they're supplementing for something's weakness. It contributes to their ego. It makes them feel like they're contributing to something. Even though the pets are nothing but problems, even though they just literally, by getting a pet, what you're doing is that you're paying a ton of money just to pick up shit and feed it. They still love these pets. You still love the pet unconditionally, right? It's a dog. You love the dog. That's the same way with society. People feel whole in a society when they feel like they're contributing to a certain social group, or they feel like they're contributing to you as a person. But when you start to level up, what happens is that you actually offend their perception of their own value in your life. When they see that you're doing better without them, they get offended. When they see that you're deviating from the norm of the small social bubble and the social structure that you have, they start to look at that as a threat. Little do they know that their sense of usefulness and their sense of purpose in life shouldn't come vicariously through you, but it should come from them working on themselves and contributing to something greater than themselves. And that's not something that people understand. But that's why when people make friends and they create social groups, they like to kind of put them into this sort of buddy, sort of pet dynamic. Like they don't see you as like as someone greater than them. They don't see you as someone like that. And That's fine. They shouldn't. But when you start to build, what happens is you are now building and exceeding their perception of value. You've now exceeded their ego boundary. You've now exceeded and broken it. So it's going to cause offense. And that's why as an adult, you need to understand that love and acceptance is not your priority. Love and acceptance is not your fucking priority. I'll tell you what, it's not my priority. It's really not. I do receive that stuff, but it's just not my priority. Your priority is respect, and you get that by growing self-respect. Because think about it. Think about it. Let's say that you make love your priority. You're now framing yourself to be the pet. You want unconditional love from other people? If that's what you want, okay, well then you gotta go be someone's pet or someone's kid. But let's say that's your priority, right? What about your inadequacies? You're gonna automatically frame yourself into their social group, and you're not gonna grow as a person. But then why did you click on this video? It's because you want to grow as a person. So if you don't take the step to grow as a person, what's gonna happen is your inadequacies, your weaknesses are gonna manifest into self-resentment. It's gonna manifest into hatred for yourself. And that's why it's a priority, because there's no greater purpose than to actually learn to love yourself. There's no greater purpose than that. The reason respect is your priority is because when you're a grown ass man, when you're an adult, they need you to play your role as an adult. When I see a grown man, his role is to take care of the hard shit in the world, is to be competent and be capable. When you look at all these movies, the conditioning of the world makes you feel like that's your priority. It makes you feel like love is your main priority in this world. It makes you feel like that you need to chase unconditional love and all this other extra goofy shit. That's really not what you're supposed to do, bro. They make it seem like, oh, he's the shy nerd, and he's kind of a dork, and he's inadequate and a piece of shit. But in the end, he gets the girl and he has a happy-go-lucky time. No, that's not reality. What they don't tell you is that that guy grows old, and then people around him don't really respect him because he's a bumbling idiot, and they just kind of let him go. He lives an inadequate life, but at least he's a part of the group, right? You don't need to be parts of the group, because even when you see now, when you actually look at people like Darth Vader or Al Pacino and Scarface, those are very scary, dangerous, competent men, but you respect them, and then they have fans. You love those characters, even though they're villains, even though they do bad shit. You still love those characters. It's the same way with fitness. People are going to see you trying to get fit, change your body, and they're gonna shit on you for it. But then when they see me shirtless, they can't help but respect me any fucking way. The same, like I got even bigger, I got even stronger, and they see me and they respected me for it. And even then, it's like, even though they ripped on me, they would still ask me fitness tips and fitness guides and respect me for being a strong man. So really, don't fall for the shit test when it comes down to social groups. They will try and psyop you into thinking that you need to be like they are. But the reason that you're falling for the psyop is because you think that your priority right now, your priority is acceptance and love. You want to be unconditionally loved. That's not anyone else's role but your mom and dad's. And if they don't love you, then I'm sorry. But your priority right now is respect. And you get that by pursuing your goals and your dreams and exactly what you want, which is to build the 10 out of 10 body that I'm trying to show you on this channel. And the thing is, it's really not your fault, because people are wired. They're manipulated to basically follow the thoughts of the masses. That's just how people operate. When your ancestors were banished from the tribe, their fear responses kicked in. Being within the tribe literally meant life or death not long ago. So being banished from your social tribe, being banished from the group that you were once a part of, but now is holding you back. Outgrowing them is a scary endeavor, and you're going to feel resistance to try and stay in the same exact spot. Not only that, but trauma in your past and probably a bunch of other shit that's probably happened to you, or stuff that you've dealt with as a young kid that you never got to cope with, made you prioritize finding love and finding unconditional acceptance within the group, rather than actually being someone of competence, rather than actually being the person that you were meant to be. But you aren't meant to do what they do. You're not meant to do what the masses do. The masses of people live like shit. The amount of people that I see that are addicted to cigarettes and smoking that have body fat's over 30%. The amount of people that I see with high blood pressure and depression, anxiety, and their dicks don't work. And if they're women, they grow out of shape to the point where they don't even know if their husbands are faithful to them anymore. The amount of people that I see in this state surprised the hell out of me. It surprised the hell out of me. So if you want to listen, if you want to be like the masses of people, then prepare to have a life like that. You should click off this channel because I'm starting a movement. Like, this is an entire move. This isn't just me being a regular fitness influencer. That's not what the fuck I'm doing. I don't give a fuck about being a fitness influencer. I don't give a shit about that entire thing. What I care about is actually changing your life. What I care about is changing the scope of the world, because right now in America, most of us are obese. Most of us have super high blood pressure. Some people I know are pre-diabetic. And everyone wants to know how to look like me and how to get fit. And I've done it naturally over 10 years, and it's been a piece of cake. It's just been a part of my life, and it needs to be a part of your life. And that's what I'm here to help you do. I'm here to help you realize and help change you so that it does become a part of your life, because it's not about you getting the right routine or the right diet plan so that you can be fit for the summer. I'm not here to teach you all that goofy ass shit. I'm here to actually teach you how to become a gym rat, how to be someone who's going to keep lifting and keep working and running and being athletic until they die on their deathbed, because that's the only way to do it. You don't want a community of people that are trying to push their own vices on you and are trying to keep you down. Check out my community Discord. It's free. I got a community Discord that I'm building. It's going to be for limited time. I'm not going to have a free community for long, but it's really just so I can assess your challenges and what it is that you're struggling with when it comes down to working out and whatnot. I'm here to just I made that just to collect data and to understand you as a viewer. But you need to surround yourself with people that are on the same path that you are. And that's why I'm sick of all this fucking conditioning in society and all these fitness influencers on the internet. They do all this work just to prescribe you a fucking routine. Prescribing you a routine is just like how doctors prescribe teenagers who fap 6 times a day and play video games 40 hours a week, prescribe them medication. They don't fucking fix the root of the problem. Your environment and your perception of the world and your perception of the people around you has been fucked up and twisted since you came out the womb. And now you expect to get fit with a certain brain that you have. It's hard. I was lucky enough to learn how to cope with the issues that I had as a kid and grow stronger with the gym and become a gym rat. And I'm about to help you do the exact same thing, because it's never been rocket science. Everyone likes to make it look like it's rocket science. I'm really just not gonna do that, okay? I'm here to actually help you become who you're truly meant to be. And that's not someone who's held back by a bunch of whack ass friends who think that it's lame to go to the gym. You know what's lame? Getting 50 years old and realizing that your bones don't have enough strength to hold up your fat ass body and not having a penis that works. That's what's lame. So if you don't want to be like those guys who constantly are trying to get in shape, and then they go and find some random fitness influencer out of California and they follow his expensive ass routine and they follow these diet plans that are just weird as fuck, trying to eat either 4,000 calories or 1,600 calories a day, wanting to blow their brains out, and then they quit after a month. If you're not trying to be that guy, then go ahead, click on this video and share this with somebody who needs it. Goodbye.